Okay, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, kuhulimla Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Chachodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Wap, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. Quick little lesson, pray that it's edifying. But this is Esau's kingdom right here, man. It says couple call Uber to deliver Narcan instead of calling 911 while their 2-year-old daughter died from an overdose, cops say, right? So here's the couple right here. He's supposedly 49, she's 28, so they have a 21-year difference. And actually, when you kind of look at her, you think like, what the fuck is she doing with him? And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They both could be Israelites because it's not a color thing. You know what I'm saying? There are Israelites that look like this guy to the right here, and there are Israelites, that, of course, look like this woman right here because she kind of looks Northern Kingdom. That's just a look, though. But, this guy to the right, of course, he looks like a damn Edomite. And this is, it's Edomite type shit, though. just the spirit of it is Edomite, so-called white people shit. And then this is his kingdom, where these people are not being arrested and thrown into jail like how they done Jake, or so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans when it came to crack cocaine, and different drugs like that. They throw Jake under the damn jail. But with these people, they can order some damn Narcan through an Uber. They can go to a vending machine, get some Narcan. They can, get high as hell, overdose, and shit. Police officers or, medics will come through and just revive the asses and they can get back high again. This is his kingdom, though, Again, like I said, when it came to Jake, when the crack epidemic went down, I remember that shit. It was, man, it's Jake still in jail from way back 20, 30 years ago, But when it comes to these people, our people were labeled as criminals. These people are labeled as sick people. We have to do something about it. They're sick. They need help. Anyway, it says an Illinois couple called for an Uber to deliver Narcan. Just stupid as hell, bro. I tell you. That's why this They ordered it for the 2-year-old daughter as she suffered a deadly drug overdose and waited nearly 4 hours before calling 911. So they was probably shook as hell, like that Pulp Fiction movie with Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, where John Travolta had that part where he was taking care, or he was supposedly been, I don't know, bodyguarding or taking care of Ving Rhames' woman in the movie, Uma Thurman, I think is her name, and she overdosed and she ended up hitting some of his shit and ended up, overdosing and had to jab that big ass needle through her heart. But he was shook, and they was probably shook the same way. But still, no matter what the consequences would have been, your stupid ass should have called the proper authorities. Anyway, says he's 49 and his fiance, wow, she had to have been really on that dope for real, boy, to be with a motherfucker looking like this guy, were charged with first-degree murder Monday in the death of their daughter, Trinity, in their home, in Homer Glen, Illinois. Not sure where the hell that's at. No, okay. But anyway, it says the couple who were first charged with neglect after Trinity's death failed to correctly administer a dose of Narcan to the toddler. Instead of calling 911, they ordered a second Narcan through Uber to be delivered to their home, according to the court documents. During their investigation, detectives discovered Balin called 911 3 hours and 41 minutes into Trinity's suspected overdose, while also looking up how to stop an OD or an overdose, and how to stop an OD without naloxone. I'm probably butchering that word, on her phone. Okay, so she was looking all this shit up, so she was shook. When police finally arrived, they found Wyher, I guess that's the guy, performing chest compressions on Trinity, and observed the floor was covered with garbage, food, urine, and feces. Yup. According to court docs, authorities also noticed a white substance suspected to be cocaine and heroin on the countertops and tables, as well as several pieces of burnt tinfoil believed to be from doing heroin. So they doing it all in that bitch. Suspected heroin was also discovered on the mattress in the living room where the entire family, including the couple's 6-year-old daughter, slept each night. He told police they were suffering a gas leak and that his meter registered a reading of natural carbon monoxide of 6,000 parts per million, enough to make a person unconscious within 20 minutes. So that guy, what he trying to lie and say that that's what the little girl passed out from? Both parents told cops they thought Trinity stopped breathing due to the suspected high levels of carbon monoxide. But Balin admitted to police that she and Y.H.I.M regularly used heroin. Balin also admitted to attempting to use Narcan on their daughter and said that when they failed to correctly administer the dose, they ordered more Narcan to be delivered on Uber. She said they went through Uber because Y.H.I.M said they should not call 911. Shook. The couple ended up calling 911 after the second Narcan didn't work and Trinity stopped breathing. Crazy, bro. A pathologist concluded that Trinity would have survived if 911 had been called immediately after she became symptomatic of the overdose. Balin's 6-year-old daughter was taken into the state's custody after she tested positive for fentanyl and cocaine. Yep. They both were taken into custody, initially charged with child endangerment, resulting in death, child endangerment, and 2 counts of possession of controlled substance. Both parents were charged with murder. Yep. Okay, so, hey, it is what it is, and this is Esau's kingdom. And again, I'm not going to keep this long, but this scripture came to mind. Ecclesiastes 10 in verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. In the NLT, it says, when they give great authority to foolish people, which that's Esau, man, and low positions to people of proven worth. See, this man, hey, he's a base man. The Lord described him as being a base man. He's a base man. He's running his kingdom on a base level. I'm talking about, like, even when you look at somebody like Donald Trump, when you look at the top of the actual Republicans, so to speak, the ones that's out here, your little billionaires and your millionaires, man, they act like trailer trash. Even though they walk around in those suit and ties, you know what I'm saying, and try and front as if they're just this intelligent people. But, being in this truth, and you can see all through that shit, like, them people are foolish as hell. Like, they stupid as shit. Just running everything just stupidly. Like, and this is a perfect example of their kingdom. When you can order fucking Narcan through an Uber. You shouldn't even have no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm willing to bet you these people probably already got records on drugs. They got records, man. This guy, he's 50 years old, damn near. I'm pretty certain he's got a record as far as drugs. Probably done been out multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Probably done got all kinds of other charges, which they didn't say. That's just me speaking as a man. But generally, that's how Esau gets down. And matter of fact, now, again, this is not a color thing, but this lady, she appears to be like, she looks like she might be Northern Kingdom. But I might be wrong. She could be a goddamn Edomite too. But if anything, if he's an Edomite and she's an Israelite, and that's just me speaking as a man, I'm not using the color thing, they'll give her more time than they'll actually give him. Because she's an Israelite and she falls underneath those curses. I'm just saying that's if. Because they're both going to be charged differently. Okay, who done what? She was the one that actually searched on the phone, the OD thing. Of course, he's going to, try to save his ass. Well, I tried to tell her, before, if he's an Edomite, he's going to lie his way all the way through it. You know what I'm saying? But this is just stupid as hell. And again, this is a base nation of people that's running the world. And these are the very people that actually have the ability to, well, we know that all things move through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, but they're the ones with the nukes. They're the ones that's with the capabilities of pushing a button and ending life as you know it. These doofy motherfuckers right here, man. Remember Joe Biden, his son? That was, you know what I'm saying? That guy, they had that guy all on TV, you know, with all kinds of video of this guy looking crazy as hell, doing crack and all kinds of other shit. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, most of these people that's in the upper level of money making, or, you know, they're, you know, that community of the so-called rich, they be doped out. But they don't get in trouble like Jake do. They're not in trouble as other men. But you know how stupid it is for a person to be able to fucking order Narcan through an Uber? Let me see something real quick. You know what? I'm just do a web search on Narcan. Because remember, they came up with all these places where you can actually get high. You know, you can just go and walk into an establishment, a clinic, so to speak, get high as hell, and they would have Narcan on deck, you know, just in case you over OD. With doctors on the sides to actually help you get high the right way. Okay, it says Narcan, which is a brand name for medication, naloxone. I'm probably pronouncing that right. I mean, wrong. Is a life-saving drug used to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. It works by blocking the effects of opioids on the brain and restoring normal breathing, according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse. It rapidly reverses an opioid overdose and attaches to opioid receptors, reversing and blocking the effects of the opioids. How it works. Opioids such as heroin, fentanyl, oxycodone, and morphine can slow or stop a person's breathing, leading to death. Narcan is an opioid antagonist, meaning it attaches to the same opioid receptors in the brain as opioids, but instead of activating them, it blocks them. The action reverses the effects of the opioid overdose, including the slowing or stopping of breathing. They got the shit. They said they got it in nasal spray and an injection. The nasal spray was recently approved by the FDA. And who do you think is running the FDA? Who came up with that agency? Esau, the so-called white man. That's that Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not wearing, who is he? You think a so-called black person can come up with some shit like that and get that shit authorized? We don't have no agencies like that. This man is running the planet, man. They got the okay. It says it was approved by the FDA for over-the-counter use, meaning anyone can purchase it without a prescription. Crazy. It's important to be prepared to administer Narcan if you or someone you know is at risk of opioid overdose. It's billboards in my neighborhood that's basically like, you know what I'm saying, keep the shit on deck. You know, places to come get it. If someone is experiencing an opioid overdose, call 911 immediately and then administer Narcan as directed. Follow the instructions provided with the specific Narcan product you have, which typically involve administering the spray into the one nostril while the person is lying on their back. Okay. If the person doesn't respond in 2 to 3 minutes, a second dose may be administered in the other nostril. Even if the person wakes up after receiving Narcan, it's crucial to seek immediate medical help, as the effects of the opioid may last longer than the effects of the Narcan. Side effects. While Narcan is generally safe, it can cause withdrawal symptoms in people who are physically dependent on opioids. These symptoms may include body aches, nausea, vomiting, sweating, increased heart rates, all that good stuff. Okay, well, anyway. It says where you can get Narcan. You can get it at the over-the-counter pharmacies. Many states and organizations also offer free Narcan through various programs such as syringe exchange programs, local health departments, and mail-based programs. See? You can also check online resources like, they got this shit on deck for you just, you know, so you can get high. You know? Now, when Jake was out here just ODing, it was just Jake was just stiff here. You throw his ass into one of them, you know, into one of them. They zip that bag up on his ass and take his ass onto the morgue, you know. And that was it. But see, with these people, they actually get medical treatment and actually they would. I'm telling you, it's places where they will you can go through, you can get high as hell, and they will help you through your get high. Straight up. And Esau out here done when it comes to drugs. When he gets high, he gets high. It's never enough with Esau. Esau, he takes that shit to the limit, man. But anyway, I didn't want to keep this long. I just, just wanted to just go into this because this is an example of Esau's kingdom. Let me get one more. Because this is a part of the prophecies that he be revealed. 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So that man of sin, the son of perdition, is Esau Edom. He became a race of people, and he's running this planet. He's over the space programs. He's over all these agencies, these alphabet agencies from CIA to FBI to FDA to CDCs. He's in control of the oceans. He's in control of the air. He's in control of your food. He's in control of the water. You can't say that it's not him. It's him. He's in control. Now, there are other nations like China, you know what I'm saying? They got their little hand in the game as far as like them just, the Lord is, giving them a portion on this planet as well to go along with Esau. But he's not on no level like Esau is, He's just contained pretty much in his area. He branches out. He tries to get money, but he doesn't have the influence over the earth like Esau Edom, the so-called white man, does. He's nowhere near that. No one is. No other race of people on the planet is nowhere near. They don't have the influence that Esau has over the entire planet. Right? Verse 4 says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. He's the one with the damn Narcan talking about, yep, if you get too high and you die, hell, we can bring your ass back. Just take a sniff of this in this nostril. If it don't work on the first try, take another sniff in the other nostril, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be just fine. Call us up and we'll send through our medics. We'll throw your ass on a stretcher. We'll roll you through. And matter of fact, once we're done getting you back together, we'll show you how to get high the proper way. Hey, this is man's kingdom, man. This place is through. You can't tell me this man is not the wicked, man. Instead of throwing them motherfuckers in jail, because if these were so-called black people, like I said again, when I remember that crack epidemic shit, man. When that shit was going through, man, they was throwing Jake in jail left and right for the smallest of a little piece of crack, man. The smallest piece. So why don't they throw these people in jail? Throw their asses in jail. Let them have the shakes. They didn't give a fuck about Jake having no withdrawal no shakes and you know what I'm saying withdrawal syndrome symptoms and shit like that. They didn't care nothing about Jake. Yeah, they threw your ass in that jail. You threw up all over yourself. You pissed on yourself. You shit whatever you done on yourself. And eventually, you shake that shit out. Other than that, you die from the withdrawals. They didn't give a fuck. But now Esau, he gets, he's sick and they need help. See, I can remember when they started to, really go hard about helping Jake out because over the past, definitely within these past 10 years, but, a few years back, they had a real epidemic of Esau fucking dying. These kids, these so-called white kids. 13, 14, 15, 16. They're like, oh my God, we must do something. This is a sickness. It's a health problem. But when it came to Jake, nope, your ass is going to juvenile. You was going to jail. They ain't give what I'm telling you. They handcuff your ass to a goddamn bed, man. In a hospital, man. Esau, he gets motherfucking programs to go to resorts and shit to try and get himself back. Then he'll go and he'll clean up and he'll come back, you know what I'm saying, from one of those centers and get right back on that shit. Straight up. And if you've ever seen, I remember, let me see. Let's go into Kensington. I always like to bring up that picture of Kensington. See? You don't even have to even go into it. I ain't even have to type it all. But this is Esau. Esau out here fucked all up. I'm not gonna play any of the videos. But this is out in fit. But this is all over America, man. And throughout the globe. Wherever Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is ruling at, there's people out here fucked up on his drugs, man. See? So this is the kingdom that we're living in. This is the kingdom that we're praying to get out of. And we need our Lord, man. The Lord is gonna soon come through and get us out of this situation that we're in, because we're in captivity to some idiots. These people are stupid as hell. There's nothing well, I can't say there's nothing more stupider than, but you can have Narcan delivered through an Uber? Motherfucker, you had cash on deck to pay an Uber to bring that shit through? Just fucking incredible, bro. Anyway, not surprising. I pray that the lesson was edifying. With that, Kwam Yasha Allah and a bubble ball.